All right, we are live now. Hooray. Hi, everybody. We are in the middle of Oracle of Ages, and I have nothing. A bunch of lizards stole my stuff. That's normal.
Wait, did we see that, or did that happen off camera?
We saw it.
Oh, no, we did. I remember.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's the little lizard holding my magic powder or whatever. We're gonna have to wander this island. Sometimes, especially in the 2D Zelda games, I feel like, the dungeon itself is easy, and the journey up to the dungeon is the hard part. Mm-hmm. Right, Link's Awakening has you go through the mysterious woods, which I think is actually harder than the first dungeon is. This is the same sort of thing, where this isn't technically the dungeon, but because this is a Link's game, we're going to get a little bit of a boost here. Do y'all remember Rosa, the cute Sub-Rosian we dated?
Rosa Sub-Rosa. Yeah. Hi. Dot, 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 dot.
Why is everybody, like, obsessed with Link in these games? Everyone wants to marry him. Like, what?
Because he doesn't talk.
Yeah.
They can just project.
It's true. He's a
Wow.
black man, and then they can project whatever they want onto Gary Stu Link.
Anyway, we get a freebie here from Rosa. And this whole sequence is going to be remarkably easier.
Because we got our shovel back.
Yeah, Rosa did us a solid.
Is it random, or is it always the shovel?
It's always the shovel. Actually, the theme of my trip is the independent woman, so you have to wait for another date.
Okay.
God damn it. The one time where
I
male
know
privilege...
that Link was clearly, like, counting the seconds to his next date with her.
Right.
He seems very
All right.
unfazed by everyone's interest in him. But I don't know,
I
maybe
just love
internally
that
he's
sound
freaking
effect.
out about it. We don't have access to his inner world.
We don't get a lot of, unless we can count the music, but the music is like for the environment. Unless this is Link's inner world, which would be very funny.
I don't think so.
I don't know, I gotta buy it now. It's just going along like, yeah, I've got 4 brain cells.
However many brain cells fit in 8 bits?
Maybe 3.
Yeah, this is 8.
How many are allotted?
Let's see what we can do here with this cave, right? We got a shovel now. The shovel will get us... Oh, if I push from this direction. Maybe.
Just realized.
Oh,
Do I
come
have
on,
to start
help me
a
out,
Phonetic
game.
request?
No.
Before it's too late.
Are you not strong enough?
I pushed all the rest of these.
No, I think I did start it.
Let me leave and try again here.
Fun news, everybody who's maybe watching a stream. You know how Julianne and Karen and I are all on Habitica? We got Ryan to join.
Oh yeah, and Addie.
And
Yes,
Addie.
and Addie.
And they're both in our party, and it's awesome.
So, no pressure, but...
No pressure, but if any of you...
But everyone's doing it.
If anyone decides that that Habitica is for them, do we have a party for you?
That is
You
the
can
pressure.
fight bosses with your friends.
You want
Speaking of which,
accountability from the
I have
creators.
to do 10 minutes of laundry as soon as the stream is done. For you, specifically.
Yeah. We're holding you to it.
We get kicked in the butt by a horse or whatever. Whatever our boss is right now that we're fighting.
Sure, I will buy a shield. Now I have a
we're doing
shield
The
again.
nightmare.
Well, because I had the same quest, and I was like, you know what? We're just gonna get lots of horse eggs.
Nice.
You know what? Do it. Yeah.
I just got a golden horse,
wow.
actually, and I'm really excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
I
There's
like the white
so
horse
many
that-
creatures. Like, even being a pretty intense user,
Mhm.
I am like nowhere near having all the creatures.
Yeah, same. Like we are
It's gonna
constantly
take
fighting
years.
bosses. Like we almost never take breaks, and we don't have close to
Yeah, like not even
all of the
close.
critters.
Yeah.
Which
Because
is
there's
cool,
just so many
because
different
it's like-
kinds, and then if you raise them all to mounts, and then you need to collect all of them again, it's like a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
I
Ooh,
think the only
want.
creature type that I have maxed out is the Easter eggs.
Oh, yeah, that's
Because
the
like
only
all
one,
of us
which
ended
I
up buying
still
that
have a
quest last year, so we did it like 5 times.
Yeah.
So
Here
I
we
don't
go,
have my
but-
feather back yet, but I do have the hoop, which is to say the power bracelet now. I traded my shovel.
Oh, that's what that
Traded your
croissant
shovel.
is? I keep forgetting. I always see that as a croissant.
It does look like a croissant.
I agree.
I'm always
croissant.
hungry. I get
Croissant.
a croissant.
Andrew, if you join,
can't use this room yet. Okay.
then join our party. Well, let us know like in a message what your username is, and we'll invite you to the party.
Yes.
Let's see what this is.
We're very nice to one another.
I need. Let's see.
It's basically the
Push,
stream team
push.
and Pete.
Yeah.
Buddy.
And Pete. And
And then
Addie.
there's a couple like not people we know that are in our party.
I was just. I meant to
Like
ask, and I
backwards.
should probably ask in a private, not public stream time, but I'm gonna do it now anyway. Are there people we just don't know that are randos in the party?
Yeah, Julianne joined a random party.
Yeah.
She's the
And
one
I
that
joined a
brought us
random
all in.
party.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, let's take over.
It
Yeah.
was like a random party for newbies.
Yeah.
Sweet.
By the way, as a reminder, we can't see what your tasks and habits are. Like,
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
don't worry about that if that's like what you're worried about.
Yeah, the accountability is purely you do damage to a boss that we're all fighting, and if you don't do the task, then we get hit.
It's not
Yeah.
like, oh, they
Ooh,
did
hey,
showers.
mods, you have work to do.
We won't know what you did. or
Can
didn't
we
do.
get rid of that person?
Oh, I get so nervous.
Oh, but promo. Are we sure? The quality's guaranteed to be the best.
Guaranteed.
Whatever, here's quality the best. You get to play a Zelda minigame. This is one of the... I feel like after Link's Awakening, maybe it's Ocarina of Time and maybe it's the Oracle games that introduced this. I forget which came first. But increasingly, there are just a ton of minigames that get added to Zelda games at some point. It's either the Oracles or Ocarina. This is one of
Link
those.
to the Past had plenty of those.
Link to the Past had its fair share, I suppose. But most
Like,
of them are not
minigames
required
have-
in Link to the Past.
No.
I feel like requiring
That's
that
true.
nonsense is this game and the 3D games.
Yeah. and
I have to
beyond.
feed the lizards, and if I miss one, I lose. The red lizard is always last, so you know. They have their meat. Excellent.
Oh, Andrew says our. Who's us? Our book. Congratulations.
Congrats.
Yeah, oh wait.
I don't know who
Sorry
Apple
for
is.
the incorrect ban at first. Did you ban the wrong person?
Yeah, I did.
Oh no. Who did you ban?
Commander Root. I don't know who that is.
Can we unban
Well,
them?
Yeah,
saw,
she did.
No, I unbanned, but like I saw the C user and like Dana had already banned
Oh,
the
so they
person,
weren't showing
and
up.
so I just like I just went fast with yeah. Like, I was like, oh shit, that wasn't the right person.
Yeah, apologies. We're so welcoming.
Oh
Welcome to
man.
Commander Root.
I know. Anyway, yeah, what is the Rutledge book? Say more. Oh, ooh, music at the intersection of games and films. Oh, I love a comparative media moment. Can you
Excellent.
guys finish that book by like 3 weeks from now so I can assign stuff from it for my class?
I'm assigning proofs from our book in my
For
game
that
class.
little- Ooh, that's like inside story.
It is,
Awesome.
and there's a lot of like stuff that was left in the copy. I don't know if this is normal, but like there were like editorial notes that didn't get cleaned out, and I'm like, is this normal?
Oh, I didn't notice any of that with mine. I hope I paid enough attention.
Oh, you would have noticed. It's like right in the sidebar, and it's big. There was like stuff in the intro. There were a few chapters that had them, and it was like, yeah, this is weird. But I mean, it's easy. They just have to take them out.
Okay, because I'm pretty sure I sent you a note that says I'm all set.
Good. I've seen a few people responding, but I haven't had the bandwidth.
That's right, you shouldn't hide. You should give me my stuff back. Alright, now we have the flippers back so we can swim again. That's nice, isn't it?
Okay.
I'm
I
like,
honestly
doing
hate
my
this
nails
thing
right now, and I'm just like hot mess, like just slapping, like not even caring what I'm getting beyond the edges.
I want to do that too. Where's my nail polish though?
I'm doing white, but then I'm gonna do like holographic top coat, so it's gonna be sparkly because I need some sparkle. Yeah, it's by Hollow Taco. See, look, the label's
I do love Hollow Taco.
I do too.
Ooh, what
Good
are
old
the
Simply
rays?
Nailogical for those that follow her on YouTube.
Alright. I would have more to say about the music and we would do our jobs, by the way, but we're stuck on Tokay Island here with this piece
We
of
already
music.
said that this music is the interiority of Dumb Link.
It just
Though if I
blissful.
were in teacher mode, I would be like, well, why does it sound stupid? Like, what about that music sounds like it has 4 brain cells? Take 10 minutes and talk to your partner.
Why does it
Go get a
sound
nail polish.
stupid indeed?
Yay! Julianne's gonna join me in the nail doing. Ryan
Nice.
can't because he's playing
It's true.
for no other reason. You would totally paint your nails with us, wouldn't you?
I think in person I could probably be convinced just because I can't tell you both no. That's not a thing I am good at or even trained to do, frankly.
Well, I just like colored outside the lines like a 4-year-old. I had like 2 that went well, and then I just like stopped caring because this white is a little bit transparent, and so I have to kind of lay it on thick.
The other
So
problem
I
is that,
just stopped caring.
and I don't like calling attention to it because I'm kind of embarrassed by it, but I bite my nails and they're ugly, which kind of prevents painting.
Yeah, although painting can also prevent the biting because you don't want to get paint in your mouth. I know some people that use it for that. And they make
Okay,
ones
I've
that like
talked about
actually
that.
taste terrible too.
I bite my nails terribly. My cuticles are bleeding at all times. And the
Oh,
only thing... So, like, they're really bad.
Yeah, I'm like,
the
if
only
you look
thing
at my
that's not
hands, I would
me is, like,
actually be embarrassed for myself.
Oh yeah, like every day I'm like, how do I make sure my students don't see? Like I don't use a document camera so that they don't see my fingers. Like I won't use it. I'll find ways around it, but it's like a habit. I need to put that in Habitica. But the other thing is, I will actually bite my nail polish off too. Like it's a problem. Like so.
Yeah.
It does stop me until I get one chip, and then I'm like, okay, I gotta bite it off. Like,
oh
I'm gonna
no.
get, like nail polish, esophageal nail polish cancer. Okay.
All right.
Let's
so,
hope not.
where we're at,
Yeah.
incidentally, check it out. I have the feather and the bracelet now, and I just have to trade for my shovel. That's not so bad.
So
It's not optimal, but good enough for today.
as I alluded to on Twitter and also Instagram, I'm having a bit of a rough time lately with the doctor's appointments and the admin and the phone calls and the rescheduling and the... So I spent some money on Etsy and I got these super cute earrings. They're conversation hearts. Aren't they adorable?
I was
Yes,
gonna
that is
say
excellent.
The hearts, like the awesome. Do they say things?
Yeah, they do. Let me... So... Let's see, we have kiss, text me, true love, hug me, you shine, and be mine.
Remember when it was like fax me? Like that's how old we are.
Yeah.
It really was fax. I'm like not even lying.
And then the side is totally different. It's love, love you, wink, wink, you are cute, sweetheart, and crazy for you. So I like that the two sides are totally different.
Yeah.
All right, we'll have to come back here.
Do 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 do.
But
I just love how this is like a so feels unmetered even though it isn't.
So,
That's
do you know what it
music
reminds me of? Is
no.
the same idea is going on in, like, the Gorons theme. Where it's kind of like this slow plotting
Yes.
thing.
And like maybe a little off kilter, maybe not like 100% easy 4/4.
Yeah.
Although sometimes it is with Gorons,
When
but
in
sometimes
doubt,
it
it's
is.
4/4.
Yeah.
This is 4/4, but you don't immediately think... I also love that in both time periods, the music's the same. These guys don't give a shit about what time it is. Alright.
They're dancing. They're like, do, 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 do. It's not quite the shopkeeper dance.
Right, it's not quite that excellent, no.
That's our favorite.
This is the Wild Tokay Game Museum now. Back in the old days, they used to play games here, but not anymore.
Okay, so they did change a little. Museum. That's
Apparently, they no longer throw meat at each other.
At least they have a sense of cultural preservation.
Suddenly the stream gets a PG-13 label. Like, what's that about throwing meat?
Right.
It was consensual.
Better be.
So,
Yeah,
did you all notice that I pushed some plants around deliberately back in the past?
Yes.
If you put them in the right spots, the plants grow, and you can climb.
That's some clever puzzling there.
Yes, I love a good time puzzle that actually kind of is sort of fun.
Actually matters.
Actually matters, yeah. It isn't just like, wow, the story is weird now.
Oh,
Like,
I could
People
plant
will
that there, but I'm never
dialogue
going to use it.
reference There's a lot of that even in like Chrono Trigger where like something you do, like the
Yeah.
main payoff is just the dialogue is different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, since that is so story driven, it's like.
Oh,
so
yeah.
good,
I
you
live
know?
for that.
But I live for it. But yeah, I like an actual sort of ludic moment where things you do.
Yeah, this is the guy that'll tell you. It takes a long time for trees to
yeah.
grow. It's the same thing for that vine you climbed down.
Yeah, so you get the clue to like, oh, maybe I can do stuff.
Right.
Cool.
But I didn't feel like
tiny little
re-time
house.
traveling again, so...
So I'm putting like a linear.
Oh,
like,
except I do need to
flaky-
do that. I need to get up to this spot in the past. Where can I time travel on this side?
Putting like a flaky hollow top coat over white, so it's like a snowstorm.
So I like that.
That's the conceptual, the high concept nail art that I'm doing right now.
I
Excellent.
could only find orange, so I just have orange nails.
Orange.
Really seasonal orange. Yeah, sorry, that's my Northeast. Orange, as the Midwesterners say, and Canadians. My orange nails. Orange.
Come on.
Horrible.
Back to the past. I'm fast forwarding. Sorry, I want to be done with this section.
Back to the.
Oh my god, look how amazing I am at this game. Out of my way. Alright.
I mean, this is still sort of thematically relevant because you're using time to get stuff done.
Joe's review of Back to the Future on Letterboxd is just pretty sure this should be called Back to the Past. That's the whole review.
Alright. Look, now we've planted a tree. We're so good.
Okay.
Alright. He'll take care of it. He says come back after a long time. Well, let's do that. And by a long time, I mean, if we think fourth dimensionally, as it were, 30 seconds from now.
There's so much time. We're here for a long time, not a good time.
Is this the two of you warning me that I'm going to get my nails painted in 2 weeks, by the way?
I don't tend to bring nail polish with me to conferences.
Yeah,
So no.
but maybe now. Actually, you have inspired that. I wasn't thinking that, now I am.
Well, I made a comment while you were grabbing your nail polish about how everyone was doing the nails except Ryan because he was playing, and that was the only reason.
Yeah.
Alright, now we have scent seeds, which, our new item, hooray, is
they
basically
sent
useless.
you all?
They are... Do you all remember the bait from Zelda 1? This just looks like a gross version of that.
Ooh, we got a subscriber.
Congrats.
Thank you for your Prime subscription.
Yes, thank you so much.
All right, back to the cocktail.
Plain bound.
While I wait for nails to
Alright.
dry, I will sip this very chocolatey cocktail I've made. Hello.
Hi, Plainbound. Alright, back to the past. We have to go pick up that shovel for those disgusting seeds. That's a good trade, right?
Yeah,
You
it's
like
basically like adult chocolate milk. That's kind of where I'm at right now. It's a chocolate liqueur, a little bit of vanilla vodka, and milk. That's it.
Ooh.
It's tasty.
I have some weird whiskey sour that contains some grapefruit juice from our backyard because we have a grapefruit tree.
You have a grapefruit tree.
Trying to-
That's awesome.
Try-
Oh, man.
Like we didn't even. It's just like a wild grapefruit tree that's just there, and I'm like, what the hell? Okay, gotta
Have
make
you done
use
the
of
whole
that.
like broiled grapefruit for breakfast thing?
broiled?
Yeah, so
No,
you
I
slice
don't
it,
even
you
know what
slice it
that
in
is.
half and you put like brown sugar on it. And then you
Oh.
broil it so then the sugar caramelizes.
That sounds
I'm gonna
very
have
good.
To, try that because I've never heard of that. It sounds amazing.
Yeah,
Oh,
it sounds
man.
super good.
Yeah. It's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah.
Alright, now that we've got all our stuff back, I am going to fast forward one more time. Sorry, you all don't want to see me do this again.
I love our little Mario moment.
Alright. Now that we have all of our items, we can bring
Sounds more
the
like-
power bracelet and the Rock's Feather and the shovel here. And we can play the harp to get to the present on this side of the map.
He's such a big chunky sprite whenever he's doing anything.
It's true.
Oh man, I just ruined my nail polish because I already forgot it was on.
You can
not doing
sometimes, if it's
anything,
like in the
it's
middle of
somehow.
drying, like kind of smooth it out with a brush. But
Yeah,
I don't have a ton of luck.
I just kind of squished it. Okay.
Yeah, my big stocking stuffer this year was a few different ones because I've followed Simply Nailogical for
Simply
almost
Nailogical.
years on
Yeah.
YouTube, and so I like watched her launch her brand and everything, and I was always like, that looks fun. I should get some of those, but I just didn't. So that was
Yeah.
a stocking stuffer.
And they're
this year.
always
Right.
so.
I've turned up the
well-reviewed.
music now. We have a new
Good,
dungeon
no
piece
problem.
here.
Ooh,
Okay.
This
Get
is-
your hats on.
close your eyes. What kind of dungeon is this?
A cool one.
Oh, so do you want to see a cool reference? In the original Legend of Zelda, how did you kill these things?
Bombs.
I didn't get that far. I was really bad at the game.
Are you singing them to sleep?
Oh.
Trick question, you spoke into the Famicom microphone.
Oh, well.
Oh.
And as a result here, by playing music, you can get rid of them.
A lot of us didn't have Famicoms. I mean, I do now, but I didn't. This is why you marry somebody who's a collector.
A nerd.
Then you have access to cool things. We hear how this is like prehistoric dungeon though. Like, do we want to outline like what is clearly the prehistoricness of it?
I was gonna say like it reminds me of the Reptar, not Reptar.
Reptite,
Yeah.
Rats.
Chrono Trigger. Yeah, that was like the
Yeah.
first thing we said when we landed here too.
Yeah. What are our parameters of dinosaur, lizard?
Exposed bass with a treble solo that comes in, like, not adjacent to it.
A lot
Right.
of like parallel fifth motion too.
The sort of rock.
Oh, all of the dungeons
Powerful.
in Ages from here on out are going to rely on these types of annoying spinners. And I don't like them. That's my one complaint about the game, is an over-reliance on those. But We'll get there in a minute. First, we have work to do. We must bomb things.
But yeah, we often have like rock music illusions because haha, rock, Stone Age.
Yeah. And like lower timbres, like typically pretty bassy.
All about that bass.
Uh-huh.
Man, speaking of Megan Trainor, I've been seeing Made You Look like every
Oh yeah, that is a TikTok
I don't know if
trend.
that's actually the name of it, but that's like the clip that everybody plays on their TikToks.
Yeah, think of that. Yes.
Like, that song is, it's not like that's like a brand new, it's been out a little bit, but man, it's been everywhere.
Yeah, there's a few particular TikTok trends that go alongside of it, so people are doing it. Man, TikTok's annoying.
I'm too old to
But
have TikTok, I've decided.
It's interesting.
I was gonna say, are you on it? Because I'm of the like I usually see people share stuff from Instagram, like to other platforms
Yeah.
anyway.
I'll watch like a YouTube compilation of TikTok. Like, that's
Quickly,
funny.
as we navigate this, I mentioned these spinners are annoying. The key is to gain access to 2 or 3 of the 4 sides around them, so you can go down, and then walk around in a boring loop, and then propel yourself up. But it's this looping part that I hate, because like we've seen these 3 screens already, right?
See, the
And then it'll
8-bit
kick you
scholars
up.
are like, I'm good with looping.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's fine.
Ah ha ha
Oh,
ha
look
ha.
at Jack Pancakes.
Alright, I can't get that one yet. Okay, this way.
But it would be a less annoying loop if it weren't so repetitive and sort of, you know, elided over the cadence points. I don't know.
I think I just have to throw
What
bombs
is-
at these things. Crap.
Or yourself.
Or me, right?
Generally, don't bomb yourself. You only have 3 bombs. You better nail this. Oh, there you go. Now you have 6. You can afford to screw up now.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Not this much.
Oh my god, die! Okay,
Okay.
there we go.
There you go.
Oh boy.
And it also dropped bombs for me again, which is
That was
nice.
a nail biter.
There's bombs right here.
A nail biter. We just talked about this.
Yeah, we're not fighting.
Don't inspire me. I'm trying.
I actually have that as a negative habit in Habitica, and I need to take it off because I'm just going to murder the party if I keep it as one.
I had it and I took it off. Also, I couldn't account for it.
That's the thing, is I also don't check Habitica often enough to, like, for that level of granularity, if that
Log it
makes
up.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a little time to kind of figure out what works best in like which section. Like dailies are often the things that I am most careful about because there are things that just don't work for me as dailies. Like water intake, I found it was better to just like hit it as a habit.
Yeah,
than
yeah.
To be like, oh, you know, how much did I have today? Did I hit my goal or whatever?
Right.
Yeah.
That took some doing, but there are some things that I graduated from habits and dailies after like I did them enough that I felt confident. So it's nice, but yeah, your party doesn't see. Nice.
Yeah, I don't have a key to get in this room, which sucks. Let's go back and around here. Oh, I can go down here. That's useful. Maybe.
I'm wondering, like, as we're kind of constructing our prehistoric trope and
Yeah.
or topic, I'm still not clear on the distinction after all this time. How many times have I asked Shania to clarify
every
this?
time. Every time I look it up.
Every time, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
as we're clarifying our prehistoric
I think-
keyword,
A trope is something that's visible, like, in the moment, and a topic is used to signify, right?
Well, there's also troping is often a verb. like in a way of like combining topics or like using topics to do something specifically is troping too. So like
Yeah.
I think there's several definitions, unfortunately, and that's why we constantly have to look up like, well, okay, which definition is this like?
Right.
There's medieval troping, which is like totally its own thing, right?
Which is its own thing, yes. And it's like even within music, it's like there's so many different ways people have used them.
Like it's like to in the medieval version is like tropes versus sequences, being like, wait, which?
I know,
Right,
like,
right.
which to be confused by.
Anyway, I was gonna ask about the role of chromaticism in like a prehistoric tropic. I'll call it a tropic because then it can be a trope and a
I
topic.
do like that.
Yes, excellent.
You should do a Star Tropics paper that is about tropes. Please do
Oh my
that.
gosh. I would be the perfect person to do that because I've transcribed the whole score. And
I
love
know, so you should do it. And then you'll never forget what it's all. What
Dana might be the only person who likes Star Tropics more than I do.
I
okay.
do. I
I
love
thought you
Star
were gonna
Tropics.
say you just liked it.
Oh, yeah, not who likes it in general, but who likes it as much.
No, I think both of us will come for you if you come for Star Tropics. Like,
It's true.
we like that game.
That's
I
true.
enjoyed our stream of it. Never played it myself, but I was pleasantly surprised, I must say.
I have very fond memories of that game.
I have very low expectations going in.
Well, and then Rob Kovacs, 88-bit, ended up. He like asked for my versions, and I sent them to him, and he like built a whole piano suite on them.
Yes.
Oh, nice, yeah.
And then he performed it at MagFest, and I was like, I helped.
He's so good.
He's really good. Exactly, Andrew.
Andrew is
Tropics,
right there.
right there with us.
Oh man, I get to take an efficient drink here.
What are you
Amazing.
drinking?
Okay.
Is it a
one
weird
was
beer?
his turn.
This is just a Sessions IPA. So I don't usually drink IPAs, but it came in the box, and so I'm drinking it.
Yeah, Joe and I aren't like super beer drinkers, and there are times when I have to like buy beer for some kind of cooking purpose, and then I'll get like a 4-pack because I can't commit to more than that. But then even the 4-packs, I'm like, what do I do with all this? Like my gingerbread cake recipe has Guinness in it, and so I bought a 4-pack of Guinness, and I had to like make the cake 3 more times because I didn't know what else to do with it.
You can't just
Neither
drink
of
a
us
Guinness,
are.
or Joe can't?
I mean, Joe doesn't like hate beer, but he doesn't like reach for it, and I don't like beer other than its stuff.
No, I know that I've continuously failed you on that front.
Yeah, most people are like, try this because they.
Right, I've
Yeah,
given up.
reaction.
After,
My reaction's usually,
S-
it tastes like beer.
seriously, after I think
I've
3
tried
years
so
of
many
attempts,
times.
I have given up on you.
It's okay.
Oh, this,
I've tried
Plenty
so
of
many
beautiful
beers.
things out there.
our new tool, by the way, we have the seed satchel to put seeds on the ground and do things, and now we can shoot them.
That's fun. Sorry, you were saying, Julian?
Oh no, I still have a watermelon White Claw for you. I was gonna try not to drink. I'm at desperation level. We're like really running out of drinks.
The watermelon
I
was
guess
for
it's no desperation
Karen,
if you're not an
remember?
alcoholic. I thought it was you. Oh my god, it's for Karen. Oh man, I'm a bad friend.
I mean, I don't,
thought
I
you
don't think I hate the
Don't hate
watermelon, but like, Karen was
Okay.
the one that was like, oh, I like the watermelon.
Oh, okay. Well, I still might bring it to back to my one drink instead of my blur.
We have to hit that speakeasy.
Yeah.
Doesn't the hotel have a speakeasy?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
That would
I'm
be
just
fun, like,
excited.
when
My
we go back
hotel
there.
room is listed as extra large bath,
Yeah, Ryan got the room with the extra large bath.
and I am very eager to know what that is. Our new item, by the way, the cool thing about it is that it ricochets, which sets up a lot of cool mathy things later. The types of puzzles I really geek out about, frankly. I've been in there. Okay. Trying to remember where I need to go. Yeah, report to come on Extra Large Bath.
I'm excited. It's like a historic hotel that we're all staying in. And it's super cute. And it has a pretty nice looking restaurant, which may be a dinner option the one night.
Yeah.
I'll look at what else is around, but I think that could be a
This way.
fun thing to convince
Yeah.
other people to come to, even if they're not staying with us.
Yeah. The only thing is, I think it's tiny, but I don't know how tiny.
Because the inn itself is tiny.
Yeah, the reviews were like, it's really tiny, but it's good. So I don't know how many people could
Yeah.
fit in one time.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of people, I think, pick up a taste for beer in college. I mean, it's usually not like great beer at that point, depending on where you go. But
Yeah.
I don't know, the Case Western Reserve University nerds, that wasn't like their move, even at fraternity parties. Like there were a few people that had beer, but a lot of people like would buy wine or like mix their own drinks and stuff. So even at those parties, it was like we weren't drinking swill. So
Yeah, yeah. We can do this now.
On your eating
sure,
club.
I think I've said this before, but like not being at a party school, I think the culture was really more mature about things. Like most of the folks there had a pretty healthy relationship with alcohol, where it wasn't like binge drinking every weekend.
I'm just glad I live far away from FSU's campus because, like, I forgot that it's a party school, and I just don't know what that's like because I never have lived on campus at a party school. Both grad school and undergrad were very not. I mean, so Princeton's eating clubs, like, some were like, this is where the jocks go because Princeton is the sporty Ivy. They drink their beer, and then these nerds do drugs, and then those nerds are for like wine. And I was always at the wine nerds place. And
It's been phrased to me, Julianne, as follows. My band spills more than your band drinks. Not about Michigan State, for what it's worth. But I mean, that's the thought in many places. Can I... Oh, this. Check this out. 1, 2, 3.
Nice.
Yeah, I just don't want to be around children drinking, or just children, which I include 18 to 22 years old. That's children.
Yeah, legitimate.
But yeah, I do think there's something to be said for just having like a very normal relationship with in academia. Like there's absolutely like a lot of drinking culture too, but like I don't know, go out and have I've always been the type to like just go out and have a nice drink with a colleague and not a bunch of nice drinks.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to name any names because I'm sure this person is having a very happy life and I've not seen them in a long time. But I went out to one person's 21st birthday party where they did 21 shots and walked themselves home.
Oi! No, thank you. When I turned 21, I had a Manhattan, like in a bar.
I had the flu, and I didn't do anything. I was so sick.
Well, and actually, I didn't go out on my 21st birthday because I was doing my undergrad thesis and it was like due within days. So it was after I turned in my thesis. The sorority sisters were like, let's take you to like the jazz, like jazzy bar. They would do live jazz on the weekends, and they had like nice cocktails, and so I got a Manhattan. That was my first drink. In a bar. My first ever, though, I was 19, and it was a vodka cranberry.
No key yet. Can't go around the way I want to.
Dorm room, and we sat and listened to WC. So really, really not a wild story. Kind of cute, actually.
Yeah, academia and drinking. I don't know. I feel like there definitely is a pressure
Yeah.
at conferences to like go to the reception. Like I don't think it's as much as other like real people jobs where you have to go to like happy hour. But these receptions, you know, it feels like
I just can't imagine ever paying attention to what anybody else was or wasn't having. Like if somebody had just like a Coke.
Yeah, I was going to say, keeping in mind
notice.
that I am very male for this conversation. I have been around a lot of drinking, but I have never been pressured to drink. I suspect that's not true for a number of my female colleagues, including potentially the two of you.
I mean, sometimes it's implicit, and sometimes it's just that there's no like non-water things available. Sometimes you even have to pay for water at these receptions. Guy, there was a conference where I'm like, I don't want alcohol, I just want like water, and they'll you have to pay for that, but the alcohol is free. And I'm like, well, that's bullshit.
That's messed up. Yeah.
That is messed up.
Yeah.
Which will water fountain? Like, it's gross. I mean, not all water fountains are gross, but that one was. I swear I'm not a snob about tap water. Anyway. But yeah,
I don't know. I don't think in academic spaces I've ever. I guess that's also why like I can't imagine like paying attention to what anybody else is really doing because I'm usually paying attention to the conversations.
I will say the gaming side of my career is more alcohol pressure than the musicology side of my career, if that makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's like
me. I don't know why.
Everybody do you, you know?
Yeah.
I am usually much more excited about the food wherever I'm going.
I'll
Like,
tell you
when I went
what.
to New Orleans, I wasn't like I had a Sazerac, but I wasn't like, oh, I'm here for the Sazerac. I was there for like the food.
Right. We need to go get that key before we go here.
And I'm rarely like Instagramming the cocktails. You know, I'm Instagramming like, look at this gumbo I had.
Yeah.
Just way more interesting to me.
Dana is an excellent food partner at a conference.
I always seek out good restaurants.
Yes. She might even be the best.
Although Ryan did us a solid in New Orleans because he sat next to a chef.
I did. I
From
sat
there.
next to the manager of one of the donut shops in town on my airplane to New Orleans, so I had a couple good gets for where to go for the good foods here. So I need
That dumpling place was the best.
to circle around this way. That dumpling place was amazing, wasn't it? Yeah.
Ugh. And it was inexpensive, like relative to pretty much all the other meals I had there.
Agreed, yeah.
I think it helped that it was a little deeper into the French Quarter, so it wasn't as like
Right.
obviously touristy as some of the spots. But I'm trying to remember. Jordan Stokes found a really good place where we went with Stefan the one night, and it was called like Evangeline, I think. That's where I had the really good gumbo. But the place that Matt that found the place for After Dark, Brownlee?
Yes, Matt Brownlee is so good.
Oh, that place that he found for After Dark, it was expensive, but it was good.
It was worth every bite. Let's be very clear.
So good.
That was remarkably excellent.
Find, like a bar that has like legitimately good food.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
it's a good spot.
This wasn't just like okay food. This was, I think, the best meal I had on the trip was at that bar. Maybe the dumpling
I'm trying to
place.
think if my Evangeline dinner was.
But the jambalaya that I had was to die for at
Yeah,
that
that
place.
jambalaya was pretty amazing. Yeah, but the gumbo I had at Evangeline was also amazing. So it's kind of a toss-up. I ate really well. That's actually.
I also
Nobody
ate
lost.
I
It's a win-win.
there was a lot that I missed about conferencing because I've always loved the format, but it just like trying new restaurants in a new city is something
Yeah,
we hadn't
I
done
miss
in
that.
years.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm-
I don't.
That's the
You
one
know,
thing
stuff
I'm
open
sad
up.
about hosting the conference in East Lansing is this is not a foodie town. I've got some
But
places,
there's probably
but
some good food. Yeah.
there's nothing that like you're gonna call your spouse
Good
and you feel
company,
bad
yes.
about it, right?
Oh.
Yeah, Ryan will like send pictures.
I do. There's no like affogato float situation going on in East Lansing, for instance. To pick the winner for me from New Orleans.
Oh my gosh, yeah. When I was in LA for Game Sound Con in 2019, I didn't even like get to explore that much, but I was there on my birthday, and a few of us, including Ryan, went to this little hipster coffee shop, and like I had like a coffee flight. It was awesome.
Yeah, I remember that place.
And there was the little taqueria that we went too many times for the amount of time we were there, because it was so good and so.
It was so cheap and
kept
so
going
good, though.
back.
Did I do this right finally? Yes, look at that. Sorry, I'm bad at the spinners, everybody. Every dungeon that has them, you're just gonna have to deal with me for a minute. This one's cool, though. Is this the way we need it? Yeah. This will be the nightmare key, and then we can go finish the job here.
This almost reminds me of Star Tropics. The piece. Not the puzzling maybe a little bit, but
I mean, the puzzling is
the puzzling reminds me more of
related,
Zelda, though.
right? Yeah. Oh, I need to come at this from the other direction. Yeah, I need down to
And
left.
I think it
okay.
is just like the parallel motion that's giving me the Star Tropic vibe.
Maybe.
But yeah, that will Madison bum 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 bum. I feel like that kind of adds. And I don't
Are
know
you
if
all
that-
excited for the upcoming Link's Awakening / Star Tropics hybrid, Mina the Hollower by Yacht Club Games?
I've not heard of this
I don't know
until
what you're
right
talking
now.
about, but sure.
Oh, have you two not seen the trailer for it?
Correct.
remember.
Yacht
I
Club.
don't think you should show it at the end.
I'll show it at the end of the stream tonight here. The short version is that Yacht Club Games, who makes Shovel Knight, has a new game and a new property coming out that is based on, if Shovel Knight is a send-up of the best of the NES, this is the best of the Game Boy Color, and it's based on Star Tropics and Link's Awakening, mechanically.
Oh.
Sounds very up my alley. Yeah. You
cannot see
who
him, for I am your shadow.
What is this, Zelda 2? Fighting your own shadow? Kind of derivative game. Of course, who even gets that far in Zelda 2, am I right?
Right.
Certainly not Karen, it's her nemesis.
Yeah, I don't think I made it past like the first, like, not even dungeon, just like the first like cut. I'm like, what is this town? I am error. What the hell? Goodbye.
You're like, I am error.
I am error. And I
We
quit.
are all error in our own way.
We are. We are.
I like how
all
he's
error.
throwing like death butterflies at you.
Oh, that's very like Hades.
Oh, the mystery seeds won't do it, though. I need maybe the scent seeds? Who knows? I hate these annoying shadow puddles that you have to jump over because they're faster than you.
So today is my dad's birthday, and I sent him
There we go.
65. He's on Medicare now.
Hey, congrats to your dad. 65 is awesome.
Yeah. I sent him a history of an illustrated history of tractors and farm machinery. He is very excited about it. Like, I sent you a picture book. I know you'll like it because it's got like all of your favorite tractors. I'll walk by and he's always on his laptop, and like you're sort of there's like a million tabs, and I'm like, oh, you should. I don't want to know what my dad, it's literally all tractors. Like all he does is look up tractors and like pretend he's buying like window shopping tractors online. And I'm like, what is he?
Nice.
Because the winter is the slow season on the farm. All he's doing is like fixing buildings and stuff.
Right, because
So
you're not
he's
growing
just, like, I'm
things
like,
in Jersey in the
Not
winter.
growing anything. No. And so he's just looking at tractors and trucks and other farm machinery. And I'm like, here's a book so you can like get rid of your screen time and like still do what you love, which is like obsess about
Nice.
like John Deere.
Hey, check this out. Ambi's tower will soon be complete.
Again, this track is very reminiscent of like the opening of Link's Awakening.
Yes. Like the chanting where he sends Zelda to the dark... Yeah.
Yep.
Well, the tower is continuing to be built, and that's a lot of tower building for 0 time having passed. We better go fix that, huh?
Thank you, Andrew. Yes. We have rebuilt mostly of the farm actually. It's pretty much we had like a normal season with growing and stuff, and then the house is still being rebuilt though. Like they're still living in it while it's being like redone. It's kind of annoying, but
Yeah.
And then I was there for having COVID for like 3 weeks. Oh man. But I was lucky that my mom could take care of me.
Yeah, that is. Was she like bringing you soup?
Yes. She would bring me like a tray of food for everything.
Nice. Alright, so 3 years later, I can finally tell you why we took Dimitri as our permanent animal. And it's because I knew that someday we would play Ages.
Because he's cute.
And Dimitri can swim in the deep current water.
But he's also cute.
He is also adorable, yes.
That's the most important reason.
Oh,
We like their
he
noises.
peaced out for now, though. He'll be back.
Bitch, bye. Thought you were my friend.
Right?
Didn't betray you.
Alright.
If you ever need help from my background, by the way, Ryan, which I don't think you do, but it is the map. The
Yeah,
whole
I did
map.
see, actually, that your background is the whole map, which is really nice.
Like, just duck down.
Yes, look, she
Not a
dropped me the
masterpiece,
potion.
but-
That's what's helpful. Give me that. And my money, too. And my seed. And my heart. Alright.
Julianne, did you ever like learn any Italian, being from an Italian family? Like, did anybody speak
Oh
it
my
around
god, my grandfather and my great-grandparents spoke Italian, and no, I didn't learn it because it was like so weird. Like, it was silly. It was like a dialect, and then when I started to hear Italian words in my music classes, I'm like, this isn't, and I would like, and they're like, no. So for instance, Sicilian uses U's instead of O's in a lot of ways, and D's instead of T's, and that's one big difference, and then there's other sort of grammatical and dialectical differences. So short answer is no. I don't remember any of it, and I don't know anything. So.
Oh, I forgot.
Unfortunately, I wish I learned Italian though.
Normally,
You
we
know
would
what
just
your
go
last
to
name
Dungeon
is, though,
4.
right?
Fat, not just big.
That means
Fat.
fat.
Like fat from like.
So I was, as I was thinking like Grasso Farms, I was like, Fat Farm.
We have a crossover game event here. This bird just told me that Zelda is on her way to Lina Village.
Oh, nice.
Yep, a red monster has appeared right before her eyes and has kidnapped Zelda.
Oh, dang.
Yes, we have a damseling within our damseling now.
Oh no. It's being
Russian nesting damsel.
That's right. But we get to go inside of Ambi's tower in the present, and you only get to do this in a linked game.
Oh, cool.
Look, this little Vire from Zelda 1.
A turtle works faster than you.
You did me a favor in Holodrum. I've taken the princess you're looking for. If you can save her, try. We'll do that.
Har, har, har. Excellent laugh sounds.
If you can dodge my attacks and make it up here, you can have your precious princess back. But it'll never happen.
Gar har har
All right.
har.
That's a lot.
So look what it is. It's Donkey Kong.
Aww. Except he's not a donkey or a
That is
conch.
very, that's very cute.
Oh, Scheisse.
It's nothing new under the Nintendo sun.
You have to speak Italian, Ryan. We're talking about Italian right now.
I don't know how to curse in Italian.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
You just gesticulate, that can also work.
Don't think this is over. Alright, he pieces out.
I'm pretty sure Scheisse is just merda, because isn't
Oh,
it like
we
the
get a
French?
unique piece of music here that you only see if you play both games in this order. This
Ooh,
piece
the
reminds
little,
me...
like, turn in there.
This piece reminds me of Star Tropics at the end of the first game when you save Micah.
Yeah, because of the triangle channel thing.
No, correct though, yeah.
So for those that don't remember, there was a like an extra digit basically in the setup data of the triangle channel. So there was a whole like line that never got played until I can't remember his name. There was a YouTuber that reconstructed it.
Yeah, like ROM hackers fixed this
yeah.
30 years after Star Tropics was released.
But it only had the top two voices in the actual game.
Yep. She gives us a ring, though.
Brad Smith.
I like how they were just like, this is fine. Doesn't need to. Zelda! Speaking of Grasso, that's Impa, right?
That is Impa. Yes.
She's so
of
large.
Strange art.
Alright, so now
Just realized
Zelda...
her face is like 3 faces.
Zelda is going to hang out in Nehru's house with Impa for the rest of the game, and you can visit her. She'll comment on your quest as you play now.
That's fun.
We would leave and go to Dungeon 4, but we desperately need the ring that she gives us. This is one of the hardest rings to get, because you have to play the linked game in this order to obtain it. And it's my favorite ring in the game. So let's,
Looks like Luigi. Is that supposed to be Luigi?
That's Vasu, the ring guy. It's
It
this
looks like
ring.
Luigi.
No, it's not. Do I not have the swimmer's ring? Blue Joy, Discovery, don't need that. No, sad. Oh, I guess Zelda doesn't give us the ring I needed. Somebody else does. Maybe in the Seasons linked game later. We'll go get it later. You get a ring that makes you swim faster and like cover twice the distance per thrust of the button, if you will. And it's very useful. But it'll be useful later.
Thank you for agreeing that the character looks like Luigi Anthony Dennis music. I appreciate the solidarity. Just a little change from previous versions of the theme, but boy does it work in these Game Boy games.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that like hanger sprite pounding the table.
Yeah.
I am hungry. That is all of us.
I mean, now that we have our seed shooter, we can get through this area.
That looks grumpy too.
Alright.
How grumpy he is. He's so cute.
Yeah, he's the construction manager.
Yeah, he looks so grumpy.
We need to find all these workers.
So many grumpy people.
It's true.
That's how you know you're like not at the end of the quest. Until all the people aren't grumpy anymore. To do all their fetch quests and
I can't get through there. Oh, good. Alright, we have to go down to the forest and get Dimitri permanently.
Our friend Dimitri.
Yep, and then Dimitri can swim us through that area. That part of the
were you
map...
subtly trying to steer us? Because I think we also just liked Dimitri because we thought he was cute.
No, actually, the Noon Highlands, you get to pick one of the 3 animals as your permanent animal. It's preserved
Right.
across playthroughs. But
Right.
that area and the Natsu Prairie in Seasons shift to be puzzles that are custom designed for the animal you chose. They look like 3 separate geographies, depending on if you choose Ricky, Moosh, or Dimitri.
That's fun.
We chose Dimitri, so we have water puzzles to do. Alright, let's go find him. Yeah, we're going.
Yeah, because I vaguely remember us being like, oh, look at the dinosaur, he's so cute.
Dimitri gets confused in the fairy forest.
And my 2-year-old does the same thing. She goes, D? The question mark, and then you're like, yes? Maybe?
Okay.
Don't know who you're referring to.
Alright.
Aw.
It's nice when she like gets the hang
She's
of
2?
Yeah. November. Turned 2.
Oh my gosh, she's older than 2. So.
Yeah. Yeah, she's still pretty
Oh my
like
god, she's like a
measured
person. She's
with her use
graduating.
of words. She clearly like her comprehension is really good. You know, I can like get a new children's book and ask her, you know, where a certain creature is that, and she's never seen this particular book, and she'll be able to be like, oh, that's the dog or whatever. She'll point right at it. So I'm like, okay, you're like able to like recognize different artistic depictions of dogs as dogs.
Yeah.
You know?
Anthony Dennis music, so this waterfall, if you have Ricky, becomes a cliff, and if you have Moosh, it becomes a 5-square curved gap that you have to navigate. It is cool.
Interesting. Oh, a grumpy person.
Oh yeah, we have to go talk to the manager again and tell him that we can go find his employees now.
Just generic grumping, no specific person grumping. If you saw yourself in that, that's on you.
Alright.
We will affirm it.
Now let's go find our lazy workers here.
Hmm. He doesn't look happy that he skipped work. Look at him.
No, they don't look like
There.
they've enjoyed their time off, which is really too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a pro-capitalism thing where they're like, man, I took a break and I actually didn't like it. I want to come back to work.
Here's worker 2. Let's check out this cave while we've got Dimitri here. Eat. Eat. Eat.
So it's like real subtle, but I love the caviness in this track depicted by the very slight decay in volume between the repeated note.
Mmm.
Like the second note's just a hair quieter and it gives it that like echo effect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like more so than if you just repeated
Bass.
the note at the same volume.
Yeah.
Always enjoyed that about that theme, which shows up in a few games.
Little subtlety.
Yeah, here's worker 3. And now they're all here. Alright, now get to work. That's right, no more breaks until Link's Bridge is done.
Look how fast they work.
Yeah, good for them.
Now
I
that
guess.
they've had a good rest, they're like energized
Yeah.
to come back.
Right?
A lesson for us all.
Alright, here's Symmetry City, the ruins. It's all sad, as you can hear. And it's sad because a volcano
fire?
erupted and killed everybody in the town. Yay!
Oh jeez.
This is the most non-fire fire theme. It's like more about like what happened than the actual texture and temperature, which is very
Yes,
interesting.
It is much more about the loss
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very funereal.
Yeah, we'll come back to that town in a moment.
We'll do some more stabs at analysis. Because despite Julianne's background, this isn't a map stream.
That's right. Actually, I need to revisit town. There's a time gate there we need to check out. And this is Symmetry City. So there's two of them.
Symmetry City. That's so silly.
This is not exactly a fire theme either, for what it's worth.
Yeah.
This is our weird kooky town theme.
Yeah.
Like, that's a weird set of interval leaps to hit, right?
I was gonna say, and like the distance between the high and low, in this case, not simultaneously and not in the cold way.
That's right. So we have this problem. The tuning nut is broken.
Tuning nut.
Yep, the tuning nut.
Toonie.
Oh,
And
tuning.
why
Tuning,
is it?
not tuning.
Why is it the tuning nut as the symbol of Symmetry City?
Because it's a
Because that's a
palindrome.
palindrome.
That's right.
Yay!
So is Taco Cat, and they didn't call it that.
That's right. We could have had. They don't want to. Do you want me to go repair a broken taco cat? What is?
One of our friends could be a taco cat that we ride, whatever.
All right. Oh yeah, it's the brother. Okay. And of course, Symmetry City. So the brother has a perfectly symmetrical, identical house, and he's not able to move unless the brother moves, or the city erupts and dies.
Okay.
So he can't leave the city alone. And the brother's too hurt to move, so he can't move either right now, right? Brother hurt
Okay.
his ankle. But we can
How
ignore
are
the rules
you
and leave
moving
the
around
city.
town, then?
We don't live here, so we can break the rules.
Aha. I was gonna say, if the balance is that careful, then wouldn't you have already
True.
triggered Cataclysm again?
True.
Taco Cat is my favorite palindrome.
Mine remains, was it a cat I saw?
Because it's such a regular sentence.
No, it's because it's... Dana knows why. It's from the opening of Star Tropics 2.
Oh.
Where it's the code that Dr. Jones leaves Mike to tell him to read the thing backwards. And that kicks off the journey through time.
Oh.
In a
In the
plot that
first
is...
game, like, it's all like America dates, like the code you have to type into the subsea is like 1776. Like,
Right.
Speaking of 1776, this guy's wig.
Right, yeah, this guy researches time. He's invested in the past, as you can tell from his, like, Revolutionary War period wig. And his...
vintage Egyptologist on Instagram. She wears 1920s vintage even on digs, and she's a Egyptologist.
But if you play this tune for him by hitting the A button and not facing him, there you go. He'll become inspired.
I liked the exclamation point over his head. That's much like my own inspiration. That's like the bee theme, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's the bees chasing you theme from Link's Awakening, and from the recent killer disco cactus arrangement of the Mysterious Woods.
That was actually what the first thing I thought of. Man, we should watch that. listen to it. Everyone go buy the Disco Cactus album. They just put it out on vinyl.
Now we get a new song.
The track is called You're Lost, and it's probably my favorite on the new album. Which is saying something, because I went into that really expecting that the Persona track was going to remain my favorite. As it stands, I was really happy they recorded it, but I really loved the Link's Awakening track.
Yeah, it was very good. I am partial to, and I got the sheet music for, at the relevant price point on their Kickstarter, the Hollow Knight arrangement, where they have Kristen Negus playing woodwinds as she did on Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Mm-hmm. Gives really fascinating context to the Hollow Knight arrangement, and it helps that, like, she's so good.
Yeah. We have some very talented friends.
Yeah. I had not actually met Kristen in person until this fall at GameSoundCon, and I am very pleased to report that she is delightful.
Talented friends of friends.
Now, by the way,
parasocial relationships.
We can travel from the past to the present without a time gate now.
Hooray!
That's the new power.
We can make our own gate.
That's right, we can. So instead of using that gate up there, that will lead you to failure and sadness, we can now bounce to the correct side of those rocks. The game just laughs at you if you come there with the original tune.
Insert joke about how leading you to failure and sadness is just getting a graduate degree.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Laugh through the pain, everyone. As I see Hyunjin in the chat. Laugh through the pain. You got this.
It's not that bad.
I often thought that the worst, not advice, or the things that like my faculty would say to me, like when I was a grad student, was like, oh, it's actually the best it'll ever be right now for you, and it actually just gets worse. And I'm like, why am I doing this?
That's not true in any way. Let's be very clear. That's bad advice that you were given.
Like, I know what they were trying to do, like, in a weirdly terrible way. It's like, yeah, if this is the best,
I understand.
Said that.
I understand being nostalgic for when you're still taking coursework and like just all the things that you get to learn.
Oops, wrong button.
And, you know, the exposure and like I definitely still have moments where I'm like, I wish I could still like take classes and stuff just because.
Yeah.
So I get that piece of it, but everything else is like better. The other.
I got paid $2. Yeah. They were like, oh, you know, you never get, like, we do dissertation, it's the most, like, free kind of thing that you have because you don't have expectations from, like, an editor or anything, and, like, you have more free time, which is not true for most people who are, like, working through doing all sorts of things to get themselves through their dissertation, and not just, like, sitting there with a grant, which is really rare.
Yeah.
And yeah, like they romanticize coursework, they would romanticize the comps study period where it was like you just like, because we had it like right after the summer, so you just spend the summer studying comps and it was like, oh, that summer was so great. I'm like, no, it wasn't. Like,
no, studying for comps was an absolute nightmare, and I hated it.
It was a nightmare.
And I failed the first time, and then had to do a semester without any financial support.
Yes.
No, hated it.
Like this is the shit that happened. And so like it's like okay, so I look back and I'm like, oh, you know, sometimes I wish I could just take a class and like be in that position where I'm just learning and not teaching. But there's no like I'm just always checking myself to make sure I don't over romanticize things like that, so that I don't like pass on that dumb bullshit.
I will note there was one or maybe 2 semesters where after I had like done my oral exams, but not my writtens yet, which at Minnesota is 2 separate processes. The time in between there where I just essentially had to take classes and didn't really have responsibilities, and every time I presented anywhere for anything, everybody was pleased with me because I was like a grad student presenting and I thought of it as a success, yeah, that was fine. But there wasn't enough of that time relative to the hard parts.
Yeah.
Even the best, like, in terms of, like, from the outside looking in, I had a year where I had funding, full funding, and it was just for dissertating. So I did have a dissertation year. And I still, with that support at that level and I had an office, like they gave me an office and everything, I was still stressed out of my mind because there's still like not that much money. And also like there's just so much stress around the dissertation, around being a grad student, about all the things that you have to like prepare for, about like your peers and competition, and there's just so many things. Like even at the very best, which is like full funding and you know, and all this support, you still can feel like shit. And so like, you know, everyone's situation is different.
I will say,
I just thought that was so terrible. Like, oh, it just gets worse. Come on.
what absolutely made graduate school for me is I remain convinced I had the best, most wholesome, emotionally supportive advisor of anybody I've ever met in grad school. Peter Mercer Taylor
really
rules.
Makes a huge difference. Having a good advisor, having an advisor that does what you need them to do and is in a position, like for some people that's more emotional support, some people it's more like, can you read this draft, and some people it's somewhere in the middle. And having them be the person you need them to be is so important.
Yeah. The rules, by the way, are I have to knock these indestructible beetles into the cart, and I have to do it either while standing on this so the cart doesn't break the tuning nut permanently and I lose, or yeah, I have to kill those beetles. And once I do that, you got through this trap. Now I have the tuning nut back. As usual, I am perfect, and so is this nut now. It's fantastic. Bring me anything else that needs fixing, and he will prepare his trap, or ceremony.
But yeah, all of this is to just be real, in that there are some parts of your process that are really beautiful and you're going to enjoy them. And look back on them and be like, that was cool. I liked that. And then there are also parts that are incredibly hard. And it's okay to normalize not painting it with like this rose-colored
Yeah, Baby Pup,
glasses
I vote
and
against
say,
that, frankly. Suboptimal.
Sabbatical. Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, it's actually kind of similar to parenthood. Like, I've had several friends, you know, become pregnant and then be like, oh my gosh, I don't like being pregnant. Like, it kind of sucks. Like, it's really hard on your body, and like your body kind of doesn't feel like your own, and it's uncomfortable and weird. And but then they feel like weird even admitting that, because that is just not the way it's portrayed. It's always very like, look at me, I'm like the fountain of life. And...
For what it's worth, Anthony Dennis Music, I absolutely understood your comment as Kristen is the best right before we entered into this tangent.
Oh yeah.
And that's a position I am happy to support with you. Oh, this is the dungeon with the good music. Hold on, we have to leave so it can start again. Yes.
Skull Dungeon.
I get Russia vibes from this, and I don't know why.
What now? Dana's first article has entered the chat.
It has. Seriously, it has.
The offbeat stuff. Oh, this part's weird.
That bass line is definitely a piece of that.
Yeah, the phrasing, the upbeat emphasis, and
The minor key.
minor.
In this
Minor
case,
with,
I'm
like,
only.
true-
I'm not saying all Russian
true
music is in a
half
minor key. I'm
cadences.
thinking of the Tetris comparison specifically here.
No, for sure.
Yeah, like we're talking about like a romantic, like a weird tropified.
And of course, in Tetris, only the one track was actually Russian, the other was Bach, and the other was Hip Tanaka. So.
Right.
But Anyway, true half cadences, true leading tones instead of a flat 7 are kind of uncommon in some of this video game music, and so some of them actually sound more folksy. And the kind of low, yeah, this is, I get the Russianness, or like Eastern European.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a kind of witchy folk. Witchy folk, witchy folk, witchy folk.
Like compared to Tetris, compared to like the like Cossack's Castle levels in Mega Man 4.
Yeah, yeah. Alright, I can't get up there yet. Gotta go back to the beginning and around.
Like
This
that.
piece is
This is a
also,
great track.
as a vocalist, this piece is singable, and this is the first singable melody dungeon we've had.
Says you. As I grunt out oddly everything else.
Ha.
But yeah. Like it sounds like it could have worked. Sort of.
No, it's just that you
song.
could hit the notes, right? There's a melody to
Yeah.
sing.
Well, yeah, but I mean just that it adds to like a folksy kind of.
Yeah.
This could be a tune that is. Here's our pants again. I mean, our overalls. Not
Oh
pants.
wow. VG Leaf Sheets does not have a lot of Zelda Oracle of Seasons and Ages. It has Horon Village, House, and Tarn Ruins. Tarn Ruins. That's it.
Oh.
The
Time to
the
get
Tarm
on
Ruins. Yeah, it doesn't have this piece. I don't think.
I'm just always interested to see like what gets uploaded to like all these different sites.
Well, but think of who does primarily anyway. The VG lead sheets material, right? Have Jer or Sigma Beta covered those things? Right? If no, then it probably doesn't exist on there, right? They're not the only two that do VG lead sheets things, but I think they're by far the largest contributors to the site, and it is Jer Roke's site. He's the person who made it.
Oh, we're in a very flat key.
I'm not convinced that that matters in terms of Game Boy programming, but what key are we in?
Hold on, I have to think. C flat. So
Is your
Like
first instinct
G
to think
flat
C
major, maybe?
flat and not G natural? Or sorry, not B natural instead of
B natural?
Yeah.
yeah, you know that is interesting. That why did I default to flats?
I mean, I don't
I
love
think
B
because-
with 5 sharps, but I prefer 5 sharps to 7 flats any day.
It would well six, at least 6.
Well, it's minor.
I guess
So-
what is that like an E flat minor?
If,
Is that-
if it's B minor, are you saying B minor? That's just D major. I mean, that's.
I think it's E flat minor,
E. Oh.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
or like so yeah, like G flat major, E flat minor key signature. But yeah, it sounds
Okay,
it sounds
E flat.
minor, so E flat.
Oh no, oh no. Ah!
Yeah, E flat minor. Final answer.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh
So
my gosh,
convenient having
annoying
a
little
keyboard
beetle.
next to me.
I am gonna lose to this thing. I'm so mad.
Are you automatoning it?
Yep.
It was right on my piano. I just couldn't resist.
We're automaton influencers.
When are we gonna get our money? We should be automaton influencers. We just need
I think they pay you in automatons for that. They don't.
I
give you
mean, when
money.
I'm gonna get I want my different sized ones.
I know.
the
Now
only
that we
one
got
with
Karen the Kirby one, I kind of want the Kirby one.
Suffering automaton.
I only know one person who I would legitimately call good at automaton.
Atama Mama, right?
Yeah, Michaela.
I mean, it's in the handle. Yeah, the whole stream team has automatons now. We made sure to get Karen one.
Yeah, so that we can create our consort.
So now we can have our consort. Exactly. Oh, yeah, I am not, my ear isn't good enough to know flatness by sense like that. No. I guess, the easiest answer is probably just because I'm a string player. I feel like string players think of things flatted a little more readily.
Mm. I used to be very good at hearing intonation because I used to tune the band because I was always first year clarinet, and that used to be like my point of pride was I could hear, but like I haven't done that in like 15 years, so I just live a life free of being like, oh, that sounds flat.
Well, and one of the things that broke me of that is early music and like different temperaments, because like what's flat and what isn't doesn't really matter what system we're in. So.
Yeah. I do think that you thinking of, hi Pete, of flat keys first is a violinist thing. For instance, hold on, I have to make sure I kill all these things on this train ride.
Like most violinists, if you ask, would prefer the flatted version to like a sharped and harmonic version of the same key.
Right. But a piano player, up until you reach a certain number of flats, and up until you reach a certain skill level, you learn to play the keys that start on white keys first on piano, and only later do you learn to play D flat and E flat, right? You start with C, all white keys, and A minor, and you move to G, and then D, and then A, and then E, and B sucks, sorry, B, and but you don't really learn the fingerings for the flat key scales right away, because they require a different mode of thought than just put your thumb down and make it happen, if that makes sense. I don't like this at all, and I don't have the key. Anyway.
I think I learned piano a little different.
It's funny, because I started on piano, but also early string players start in D major. That's like the first, and then we learn like A major. So we learn sharped keys first, but I think as things start getting more complicated, we start seeing a lot more flats overall. My favorite key, incidentally, is F minor, in case anyone's curious. Which, if you're like, what's an F minor? Snake Man from Mega Man 3 is an F minor.
Oh, with that. On clarinet, flat keys have better mouth feel and hand feel than sharp keys, so I prefer them. But then, of course, it's a transposing instrument, so it means nothing ultimately.
I like the term mouth feel. I'm sorry.
Makes sense. People talk about that with like wine, but I get it.
They definitely more talk about it with like food and drink. But
yeah, I knew exactly what you meant by it though. Like that was not at all unclear.
Yeah. Where are the spoons to this thing?
Oh, come on. I hate this boss. You have to lure the sword into hitting the boss. And it's
Why are you hitting yourself?
really
Why are you hitting yourself?
right.
Oh, I hate that. I had a younger sibling.
Nope, he didn't do it. Okay.
And of course, I have referenced this exact poem before on this stream, but I love that there's that Billy Collins poem where he talks about taking piano lessons, and he describes each scale having its own shape, and that, you know, the teacher tells him he has to learn to hold each one in his hand, and I can't remember all of them, but like C, I think, was an open book. D was a vase with two handles because of the two sharps. Like, everything, like,
Oh, yeah.
the way he described it as a piano player, I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
You can go see it. C is an open book. C is a vase with two handles. You just flat with black food. He has the like, so good. I think of that poem all the time because it's just such a translation of something I grew up doing all the time because I was a pianist. And I was like, dude, you nailed it. That's like exactly what that.
Oh no, it's one of these rooms. Great. So what we have to do, I'm gonna leave that there.
This
And
doesn't look fun.
I'm gonna
I
fight
assume
these
you're getting
bats.
rid of the bats first.
I'm
Yeah.
getting rid of the bats first for my own sanity. Maybe that bat's okay.
He's
What we
like,
have to
"I'll stay out of your
do-
way, man."
Is fill in the entire room. And we've failed here at this point, I
Yep.
think. Yeah. See? We lose.
You have to start over.
Such a puzzle game. Such a puzzle game.
There you go. Nice.
Yeah.
And we get my
Ooh,
favorite
Pete, what's the
upgrade.
documentary? Also say hi to Angie, and I already texted her happy birthday earlier, but belated happy birthday from all of us.
Oh, happy birthday, Angie.
So check this out. Instead of the hook shot in this game, we have the switch hook.
Switch hook. Oh, whoa.
This is gonna make for some really annoying puzzles later.
Yeah.
But it's very cool.
Also, Friday night, I think, if Angie is around, you mentioned possibly that she had a gig that weekend, but if Friday night is one of the free nights, she should pick a dinner place. If not, maybe Sunday. I don't know what the schedule is, but I'd love to do dinner with y'all.
So here's your first little kind of baby introduction to the idea. You need to hold this button down. Gotta switch.
I see.
Makes sense. Oh, great. Yeah. So Friday we'll plan.
Yeah,
on
Friday
dinner.
night for sure.
Y'all know the good places, so we'll entrust that to you. The only thing I have on Friday, other than showing, dropping my bags and showing up to help Pete, is I'm gonna do a brief rehearsal with the folks that are doing the Final Fantasy aria, because I got recruited to play the string
Yay.
with that. But I honestly think that's so we're working on picking a time for that. So I'll know
Nice.
exactly when I'm free.
So-
but I'll be free like dinner time.
Here's medium difficulty puzzle. You ready? Swap here. Swap with the pot, which will break. That's a one-way swap.
Oh, God.
And then the diamond, the diamond, the diamond, the diamond one more time so that you end up on the left side of it.
No.
then you can go.
Smart. Sorry for your early Friday morning class, Jim,
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
but thanks for stopping by despite it all.
You stay classy, LA.
Yes, and for what it's worth,
I
if
don't know,
any
the thanks for
graduate
stopping by made me
students
think of Anchorman.
who watch us regularly and know us need somebody to vent to about how the system sucks, I like to think that we are safe people to do that to. So
Yeah.
if you are comfortable with it, you can reach out anytime, as can anyone else.
Yeah. Well, no, and as I've said to several grad students, I'm always happy to look over stuff too if I'm like in a good moment to do so. I like to pay it forward by doing free editing if people want it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you like don't want or need a chapter to have another set of like there's too many cooks, you know. It happens. But
Sometimes there's too many cooks. Dana Plank, everybody.
sometimes
Takes a lot to make a stew.
it takes a lot to make a stew. But you know, sometimes you do want that extra set of eyes, and but then you're like, oh, I don't want to ask people because then it'll be weird. It's like, well, you know, if I'm like in a place where I can't do it, I'll just say no. But
No, I messed up. I hate it.
you did mess up.
Oh no.
You were so close too.
Let's try it this way instead. Why not?
So what's everybody teaching this semester now that I think we've all properly started?
I am teaching... Oh, go ahead, Julianne, while I puzzle struggle. I'm going to turn this down. That sound effect is really annoying.
Go ahead, Ryan.
No, I'm puzzling. You do the business here.
Yes. I'm in week 2, and I am teaching an undergraduate class on classical form and style,
Fun.
which some of my colleagues are like, "Oh, we're so sorry that you got saddled with that." But I actually like teaching that class, but
No.
pretending that it's a hardship. No, I told them, I'm like, I actually don't mind. And then I'm also teaching a graduate course on analyzing music and media, and so it's
Nope.
broader than video games, which I've taught video games, but I actually haven't taught like the broader version of this. So, exploring some film theory, looking into the next week is the leitmotif. Who would have thought? So we're getting into it. We'll see how it goes. But that's what I'm doing.
That's super fun. I am teaching an undergraduate course on video game music. Woo! Super fun. I've never gotten to do it on a full semester. The one that I originally developed for Ohio State was an 8-week condensed summer course. So it is a luxury to have
So that makes sense.
15 weeks.
Yeah.
And I love it. So I'm very excited about
Get
that.
into it.
And then my graduate course is disability studies, which is the first thing I taught at Hartford, and they asked me to repeat. So I'm very happy about
Which
that.
is always great. Repeats are great, especially if it's something you like, you know, and that
Yeah.
that's your jam, you know.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
it seems like some good groups. I'm
Nice.
very excited about it. And I'm excited about the material. But yeah, the
Yes.
video game course I got to like really build out in a really fun way. So like it's not like I added so much more work, but I was able to kind of like do some more discussion topics and things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I have too many cooks in my head.
Ah, the bats and the jumping. This is not
Not
acceptable. One more try here.
This
This puzzle does not require as much thought on me because it's action-based. I am teaching video game history, which is a class that I was invited to write from scratch when I got to Michigan State, and it's a ton of fun. And then I'm teaching my advanced video game music class this semester. And I
Is
teach...
that still undergrad?
It is. It's cross-listed, 491, 891. But this semester I don't have any grad students, so it's just
Alright.
undergrads.
So yeah, so it's undergrad.
I make them do a lot of work, though, if that helps. I teach 2 different syllabi for that class, and I rotate by year. So this year I am teaching I'm juxtaposing Will Gibbons' book against Tim Summers' book.
Ooh.
Cool.
And we're talking about, like, the North American way of doing things versus the European way of doing things, with the understanding that not everybody in the field is shoehorned into those two things, but enough of a percentage are that that's a way we can process it.
Yep, that's very valid.
And then I'm teaching Intro to Esports and Twitch Broadcasting, playing video games with Dr. Thompson, the class.
That's your Friday, right?
Yeah, that's Friday morning.
Why did you replace my drink?
I could use that.
Made the wrong one? This one has what? Wait.
There's a mystery happening in Julianne's house.
So Neil got me a drink, and then I was sitting here, and they came in, and he swapped it out with a different, like, seemingly identical drink.
Ah.
And I don't know what he said, and I don't know what it tasted fine.
Maybe forgot to put one of the ingredients in or something.
Different, way different.
Huh?
But I can't place it. I think it has... What's in this, Neil? What? Oh, orange liqueur. Alright.
Ooh.
I knew it was something like Swedish, not Swedish, but sweet fish.
Swedish fish. He just served some Swedish fish.
That's right.
Like Swedish fish.
And none of you went to a party school, so the experience of, say, somebody showing up and said, "Hey, I put a whole bunch of Skittles into this vodka, it's awesome now," isn't a thing for any of you.
I've seen it on the internet where people separate by color, and so then like the candy coating like leaches out and it turns it like bright colors. I've seen people do that, and it looks pretty. But yeah, that's not anything that I've ever had a desire. That's the thing with vodka though, is like it's very infusible. That's why if you go into a store, man, there's like a whole wall of just like shocking flavors.
Yeah. Oh, crap. I need to leave the room and come back. This puzzle is the really smart person's puzzle.
I guess we're out then.
Well, I'm out, apparently. You need to shove this pot down to make a second pathway.
Pants. Wait, those don't look like pants. Yeah,
the pants are in the other area.
When it's open? No. Oh, it's the other area.
Yeah.
Yeah, the treasure chests are not the same.
It depends on whether the dungeon is in the past or the present.
Oh.
Can I tell you a funny
Andrew has only
story?
152 in pop music this semester.
Oh my gosh. That's a funny embarrassing story.
The first time I taught video game music, I had 150. So that's at least like not as wild as the 400 something you had last semester, but
see, all of my classes are 24 students or less.
Yeah, I got a TA for the video game class, and there's only 15 students in it, and that's like cap. And I was like, what? Why do I qualify for a TA? I think it's more about making sure that like the TAs have exposure to interesting and different coursework than the professors.
Yeah, it's like the TA training. Yeah.
It's more for them, but
yeah.
Yeah, we had that at Chicago, like small classes where we were the TA.
I raced through that boss, by the way. Did either of you catch that it's the Patra from level 9 of Zelda 1?
Yes.
No.
We're still doing some of that in ages.
That far, Zelda 1. Yeah, the burning flame.
Yay, the burning flame.
Theory of Skills 2, Theory of Skills 4. And the course credit.
No TA. That sucks.
Okay. That's nice.
Well, hopefully pop music.
No TA at all?
Find a way to not be drowning in grading. I'm all for basically ungrading.
All of my grading is completion only this semester.
Yeah, I do a lot of
for undergrads. It's a little bit of it's kind of risky in theory in theory classes because it's so much of it is like, well, do you know what this chord is? Like,
right.
But I'm doing it to promote participation because we go over the assignments in class and go through things. So they have to be there to get the answers. So that's my like manipulation there. But they can also ask, like I told them, I'm like, hey, like you might be absent for whatever reason, or like you might have missed something. I might have gone too fast for you. Just ask me and be like, I missed this. Like, what is this correct? Like, if you want like deeper feedback, absolutely ask for it. So it's also trying to promote them like kind of advocating for themselves while also making my life a little easier. So I highly recommend doing anything that makes everyone's life easier without making the student's life like a lot harder,
Yeah.
This is the same for them either way, really. So yeah.
I have moved pretty quickly towards just not having very many grades.
Yeah,
like just fewer things. That's
Yep.
useful.
Like, for the purposes of setting up a gradebook, in this case Blackboard, I often will set a point total of like 1. But so it's essentially a binary, right? It's like a pass-fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it can display as a pass. You can set it so it displays as a pass-fail. I don't know why you can't just set it to grade it as a pass-fail, but like, I don't know. Blackboard's weird and I'm still not used to it.
Oh yeah, that is weird.
But it does seem like it'll work. But I told them, I'm like, really what we're actually doing behind the scenes is we're keeping an Excel spreadsheet, because it's very like, if you want this grade, do X number of passing assignments of this type.
Yeah.
So like, oh, I need like 4 article summaries to get an A or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so, but there's 15, 16 opportunities to do that in the semester. So they won't be doing stuff every week, depending on what target grade they want. I made the D for degree joke. I'm like, if that's what you want, here's a crystal clear pathway to get it.
That's true.
And all of them involve like actually participating in discussions, and all the written work is pass-fail, and like fail is always a chance to revise and resubmit based on feedback. So like the only grading I do is giving feedback. It's nice.
Yeah, my 400 level music class, I make them do like 500 words of a summary of the chapters we read every 2 weeks, just to make sure that it's like an enhanced attendance check. It's not really graded per se, but I do read them all and provide like a couple sentences, right? Just to say, yes, that you're on the right track, you're taking away the right things, you're in a position to do the papers I'm actually going to grade, right?
Yeah.
And then there's 3 paper grades for the course. That's it. I treat them like grad students. The elder will die if we don't hurry. Oh no, we need a bomb flower. Well, we don't have one. Let's see if we can't fix that.
Just realized I used top coat as base coat. Do you think it matters?
On your nails?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it matters.
No. You just don't get the same, like a lot of base coats just have that extra like good for your nails bullshit. Like,
which I don't paint my nails often enough for that to be a problem.
Yeah. Like, I think as long as there's, and the top coat was clear, right?
Yeah, it's like clear with like holographic particles in it, which, hold on, we're gonna do this right with the iPhone.
You did that as, you did that as the base coat?
No, I did a clear top coat as base coat. I grabbed it.
Right, no, then that, like, because that'll protect your nail either way. It doesn't matter that it's a top coat, right?
There you can, there's the rainbow.
Nice.
I used to always have those crackle nail polishes. I loved them.
Oh my gosh, I loved those. Yeah.
This is that theme. This is Goron. We're in Goron.
This is Goron Village.
Sorry, I'm a little slow.
Because we were looking at shiny rainbows.
I was like, ooh.
Isn't it amazing how like you can't really tell under this light, but as soon as I put like an iPhone flashlight on it, it lights up.
Yeah.
The lighting really matters. Like sunlight, it goes all over the place, and I can see it like on the nail, but.
Yeah, D2L is not great either.
Was this after Ocarina of Time?
It is after Ocarina of Time.
Okay, so it's like drawn from that theme.
Yes.
See, it's funny that you say Canvas is trash. I think it's all just what you're used to. I had Blackboard in undergrad, like I used it as an undergrad, but then teaching, I've only ever done Canvas until now. So like Blackboard feels not intuitive to me.
Yeah, I had Blackboard as an undergrad and partially through teaching, and then we switched to Canvas, and then I've had Canvas ever since. And you get used to it, but there's always like something that'll make your life harder for no particular reason. Like, it's like, does this really have to be the way this is?
For me, for Blackboard,
Like
it's
quizzes.
it's that I can't just set up the gradebook in the gradebook. I have to do it through the assignment tab. Like I have to make all the assignments and then link them to the gradebook. And I'm like, in Canvas, I could just do this in the place where it made sense to do it.
There's some stuff, like I remember Canvas is a lot better than Blackboard, and then vice versa. So I don't know. Well, Blackboard might have changed completely since I've used it now at this point.
Am I the only person who uses Desire to Learn? D2L?
Yes. Yeah, D2L. I've never heard of that except for in MSU.
It's bad.
I'm sure people use it, but yeah, I've only ever done
Never heard of it.
Blackboard and Canvas.
Like Down to Learn, which is the same. Desire to Learn. D2L. It makes me laugh every time.
My students make that joke all the time. Don't kid yourself.
I know. I'm glad.
They make DTF jokes.
Yes. Though the popular joke in any of my classes is that I have Office 420, which is remarkably easy to remember for the students. I actually like having that office number as a result. They're like, where do I find your office? I'm like, it's room 420. You'll find it.
Bro.
Right.
Aw, we're back to like...
Yeah.
Overworld. We haven't heard this in a while. It's kind of nice.
There's the Pegasus
We got more
seeds
seeds.
we needed.
I like how there's all the Goron faces in the facades of the mountain.
Yeah, because it's Goron Mountain, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Alright, now we can actually go back to the present right here. And this will be the last thing we do tonight, I think. Because we're getting close to 11, and I do teach in the morning, so I don't want to run super late.
I have another doctor's appointment in the morning.
Oh my god.
Uh,
So sorry.
Heavy sigh.
do you remember this guy from Oracle of Seasons? Our annoying wobbling... Yes, we are that meddling boy. This time things won't go the way they did in Holodrum.
He definitely is cosplaying as King Koopa. Let's be real.
Yeah, he is.
He's got that like 80s, early 90s King Koopa vibe.
Oh, crap, he throws him back in this one.
Or like Wart from Mario 2. It's the best sound effect.
Yeah, it is. Crap, I held it too long. Ah! Oh, they're variable timers. It's harder in the linked game. What? Okay, fine.
That's mean.
It is mean. I was counting, like, the number of bombs I was dodging as a means to count the time. You can't do that here.
Why me?
That's right, get out of here.
Yay!
Ba-da-da-ba.
That was so fast. A great mob lift.
Alright, and now we get a bomb flower as thanks. A long time ago, a young boy saved the Goron Elder with a bomb flower. Yeah, you know what? Some boy did.
Yeah,
It's us. We're gonna do that.
Oh, flower. Like, your name is...
Yeah, their legends tell of a great hero who saved the Gorons in their hour of need. What could this mean? Oh, bats, bats, bats. Okay, we got it. Oh, good. Oh, but I can't get in here yet. I don't have the key. That's too bad. Let's get off of this mountain. And let's go to the past. Yes, me having Office 420 is incredible. Agreed. It's also, like, an end of the hallway office. So I'm, like, second closest to the elevator, which is neither here nor there, but it means I'm farthest away from all of the foot traffic on the floor.
Oh.
Which I prefer, because then when I want quiet, I can have it.
Well, and people aren't just, like, stopping by because your door happens to be there. You know, like, there's a lot of incidental stopping to chat.
I'm the person who stops and chats with everybody. So, like, I'm guilty
so
on that front.
I'm the problem.
You are
me.
That's right. So, let's give the bomb flowers to the Gorons. They can save their elder, who will give us the key to Dungeon 5, and that's where we will start next stream.
Alrighty.
But you notice how sometimes it's the dungeon that's hard, right? Like, getting to Dungeon 5 here was pretty trivial, compared to all that island nonsense at the start of the stream.
Yeah. Ha 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 ha.
Ah. Ah.
The crown key. And we are just gonna, I think, save here, boop, for the night, and be done. Because all I have left to do right now is Dungeon 5.
Were you gonna show us that trailer?
Yes, I was. Oh my gosh, the trailer for... Oh, the Yacht Club Games thing. Yes, let me do that. Hold on.
Very Wayne's World. Do the Scooby-Doo ending. I don't care if my references don't land with Gen Z. And the reason is not because I have any animosity to, like, generational divides. It's just I was making references that didn't make sense to my own peer group as a kid. I've always been kind of an anachronism.
For your own joy, not for them. It's for yourself.
In the words of the
That's how
Dresden
I
Dolls,
see
I
it.
am a girl anachronism.
Nice.
So I was always, like, I would be like, oh, yeah, like this movie from the 1940s. My friends would look at me like, what? Like, I just like old stuff, okay? I like old
All right,
things.
team, can we see this? Both.
I can see it.
All right, here we go.
Oh, she's cute. Or it, he, they. They're cute.
It's a very cool track already.
Oh, it's so cute. We definitely see the Star Tropics. Among other things. The color palettes are amazing.
It's Jake Kaufman on music again, in case that's not immediately apparent.
Yeah. That means I'm gonna have another soundtrack I'm obsessed with, listen to all the time. The bone up command, holding the book. That's amazing.
follower.
Oh, so cute. Please support our Kickstarter and tell your friends about it. I'm gonna look it up. Mina the Hollower.
The Kickstarter has since ended, for what it's worth.
Yeah.
It's well into development now. But it's going to be great.
Right. Awesome.
Yeah. That'll be, I think, later this year.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody have any games that they're pumped about, like, in the short term? Because
I don't remember.
Zelda's
We
Day,
watched the Game Awards and like saw all those ads, and I like have very little memory of what anything was.
well, a lot of those
I have
announcements
the
were like,
Next Horizon
you'll get them in a year and a
version.
half or 2 years, right?
Right.
The new Horizon game is really fun. You will love it. I've got it on PS5. It's good.
I'm still waiting for my PS5. I like click everything that's
Yeah, like, aren't we all?
me, if possible. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
But
like I'm just not
Zelda
very good
is
at keeping
May,
up with this.
So
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
looking forward to that.
Yeah.
That's sort of short term. Yeah.
We get a new, kind of a new Castlevania game this quarter. Because Dead Cells is getting a full-on Castlevania official expansion with Alucard and Richter playable. That's mine.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm like looking through lists of things being released.
Yeah, otherwise
At least,
it's kind of a
supposedly.
dearth of content right now.
Well,
Yeah, Tears of the
that's
Kingdom
good,
is
'cause
definitely
I have a lot to do.
Tears of the Kingdom
Yeah,
and Street Fighter 6 are the two big releases for me. I'm really excited that they're finally leaning into like the cultural connections and tie-ins to Black American culture in Street Fighter 6, like overtly so, which is awesome. I just want a whole hip-hop soundtrack out of that. I want that game to rule. And yeah, Hades too.
Huh.
In the meantime, actually,
I remember
my
seeing
favorite
that,
gaming
yeah.
event of the year, real talk, is going to be when Julian reaches the Endwalker content in Final Fantasy XIV.
Yeah.
I miss Final Fantasy 14.
Endwalker, without any spoilers, is largely Final Fantasy IV themed. And
Oh.
Fun.
yeah.
Say no more. I'm there.
It's good. And
Meanwhile, Dana over here like still hasn't even done the first official dungeon.
you'll get there as well. And we are all very excited to walk you through the early content as well. So
Yeah, I'll get there. I just have to get through all these stupid doctor's appointments.
right, that's the hard part. The doctor's appointment fetch quest plotline sucks.
So sick of it. Yeah, this plot line is not great. Because I was like, oh, I'll play during break, and then we all got that cold, and I was like flattened by it. Everybody else like just had a regular cold, but I was like really, really sick. And I'm still like not quite out of it.
Yeah.
I still have a cough that comes back in and out every few days. I'm like, can
really
you go?
annoying.
Or you...
Yeah.
Like
Oh.
I tested, it's not COVID, so I don't have long COVID, but I definitely have long cold.
Before we go, I will say I didn't have the heart to ask the stream to do it because of how long Final Fantasy VII Remake took, but I played through FF7 Crisis Core Reunion over the break and just finished it this week. It is very, very good, but there's no changes to it that are relevant for FF7 Remake. It is the original Crisis Core PSP game with an incredibly shiny coat of paint, both visually, aurally, and mechanically, updated to feel like FF7 Remake, in a good way. It's excellent. And yes, I'm in Julianne's boat. I am not getting it because I won't support the speech that it supports.
Yeah.
I actually do like all of the Harry Potter content proper. It's just really hard to divorce that from somebody making a lot of money on it right now.
Well, and it's kind of similar to like when Skyrim comes up for bad reasons. Although I think that is something that so many
Yeah.
people just aren't familiar with. Like, I get a lot of students that are like, they don't even know who did the music, let alone like what their story is. But
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
similarly, like that's a game that I probably, if I had encountered it at the right point, I would have played a lot of it, and it would have been very significant to me. It's like definitely my style of game, but I missed it, so I never played it. And similarly, although it was a little bit more hipster, when the Harry Potter books were coming out, the popularity of them was actually a turnoff for me because I wanted to read stuff that nobody else was reading.
But like when they came out, no one was reading them, and I thought I was a nerd for being the only one reading them. I didn't tell any of my friends. Like, so it's like weird, and I wonder if that's just because you were a little older, and like
Yeah, maybe.
that might have been enough of a difference at that age that like I don't know. I felt like a
I think
dork.
there's
it's so
this is the
weird.
rare time the age
Yeah.
difference between us matters. I am older
Yeah.
than
Like, it's just a couple years, but it's enough that
Yeah.
like, man, everybody's
It
reading
was
it.
enough that difference to happen. It's so weird.
And some people really made like the Sorting Hat stuff their personality. Like, to this day, you see people talking
still
about like,
do.
oh, I'm such a
Yeah.
Gryffindor. I'm like,
I'm such a Gryffindor though.
but I was
like,
talking about this actually with Hyunjin in like an Instagram DM. The same people will like just attach themselves to every one of those systems. So like the same person will like be very into their horoscope and like their Myers-Briggs and like their Enneagram number, and they use all of them, and they'll be like, oh, I'm such a 9. And I'm like, I'm such a Slytherin like 9 INTJ, and I'm like, what? The whole thing is just like really mystifying to me.
I mean, for what it's worth, I do identify pretty strongly as a Gryffindor, as Harry Potter's character. A very lucky person whose friends are largely more talented than him, but he gets a lot of the credit for doing the work.
That's funny. I'm totally like I definitely, from what little I knew of everything, and then I took a quiz once, it was like, oh yeah, of course I'm a Ravenclaw, right? Like, of course. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I haven't
beyond
thought about
that,
my personality in those
like,
terms
I don't
since
have enough of a connection
10
to the-
years
like,
ago,
I've seen
really.
The movies. I've seen the movies, but yeah, I did. That's kind of, that was always a spot like at the nerd bar at SideQuest. You know, people would be like all into the Harry Potter, and I would be like, a Muggle. Like, let's throw out any word that I know from the series. They actually did a Yule Ball the one year, just for fun. They like put one on, and it was like really elaborate. They had the candles from hanging from the ceiling, and it was like really pretty. And I helped work it just because I was friends with everybody, and my string quartet played a set of like Harry Potter themes, so I did a bunch of arrangements. It was cool, and everyone got super dressed up, and they had it at this like old historic building. You know, it was a cool
Nice.
thing, but I just remember feeling like this is wasted on me because I don't really know this series that well. But
last thing before we get going for the night here, I do realize we're all over time. Thanks for hanging out with us, by the way. Is we're going to finish Oracle of Ages. We've done 2 dungeons a week. I think we're going to keep up that pace, and we'll be done with that in the week after Nakvagum, probably, because as things go, we'll see. I don't know what we're doing next after that. We have not made plans. Part of that, I'm really wanting to do Pentiment with everybody on this stream.
Yeah.
But I also want
Yeah.
Karen Cook to be
we
here
need Karen back
for that. A couple of our friends that we play other games with have been doing it and have really loved it and have strongly suggested that it would be a good fit for us. And I think that they're right about that.
Yeah, we just need Karen to be ready. So
That's right. And after that, I don't really know what the next one is. We'll figure it out like usual.
we'll get Andrew to stream with us.
You know who we should actually invite to choose a game here pretty soon while we don't have a lot in the pipeline? Because I know when June hits, we're going to want to look at all those big releases for at least a week each, right? Is Will Gibbons has said he would stream with us. What game does he want us to play? Let's figure that out, right?
I feel like with Will, I mean, there's so many things he could choose, but if I had to like make a top 5 of things that I could see him suggesting that we also have not done, at least doing bits of like one of the Red Dead Redemption games, The Witcher 3, Shadow of the Colossus, right?
I'd be down for Shadow of the Colossus for sure. I have not actually played the remake, which would be an interesting approach to it.
Yeah.
And I show my
Yeah.
students the last lecture in game history, spoilers for any of my 402 students who happen to be watching right now, is my favorite YouTube video of all time. And this is y'all's homework now. Search The Quest for the Last Great Secret on YouTube. And it looks like it's about Shadow of the Colossus on its face, but it's really about romanticizing internet forums in the days when that was a relevant communications medium, and how much nonsense happened on those as a piece of internet history. And it's incredible. But the remake has a tie-in that actively acknowledges the fan activity that took place surrounding speculation as to what was left out of Shadow of the Colossus.
We should reach out and see. Will's schedule was awful in the fall, but hopefully he's traveling a little less and might be able to like actually hop on cozily with us. Witcher would be a fun one. I have a save that's like decently far along where we could kind of like jump to the different areas, but in terms of having story beats, that would take some planning. If there were like certain sections he wanted to like do again, that's a lot harder to manage because that game is so big. But if it was just like, let's go to the different areas and hear how they are, then we could
I
easily do
have
that, 'cause
not
I have a
played
pretty far
through
along
Witcher
save.
3 in full. I've started it twice, and I don't know why, but I bounce off of it. And this time it was for lack of time. The new patch, though, is gorgeous. Holy smokes, does that next-gen upgrade sing.
Yeah, it's really good. That was like my early lockdown game because Will had been telling me for years, like, it's in one of my favorites of all time. You have to play it. You have to play it. And then finally I was like, this game's great. And he's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, Dana, I know.
Nice. All right, we're going to let everybody go, I think. Thanks for watching us. And we'll see you all next week. And many of you, hopefully, in 2 weeks in Florida, right? Yeah.
Fun time.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Night.
Bye.